Hi guys, it's Waterflame again, ready to answer some of your questions. You guys posted a lot of questions on my recent Q&A. I was actually amazed that so many people had so many questions, and the general interest was a lot better than I expected, to be honest, so that was really fun, and thank you guys for all the support. So I picked a bunch of questions I'm going to answer now. There are a lot of you people that asked the same questions, so I just had to pick one of them. So I'm just gonna go ahead and answer the questions. ASDF Rules asks, do you play an instrument besides this MIDI piano? I do play this, if you can consider this an instrument, but other than that, not really. Green and Purple Radio asks, favorite song that you made? That's really hard to answer, because, you know, I really like the song I just made, but I get sick of my old songs really fast. Like, I'm sick of most of them by now. I don't have a clear favorite. I think maybe The Wanderer, because that was like an accomplishment for me. I think that was better than what I usually do. Like, it's not my favorite to listen to, but it's my favorite composition. Yeah. Dubglass98 asks, favorite Spyro game, music-wise? I think Spyro 2 was my favorite game, music-wise. I think it has a lot to do with nostalgia. It was the game I played most out of the Spyro games when I was a kid. Okay, so Crit Hennel Music asks two questions actually, but I'm just gonna answer one of them. The second one, do you start creating the beat or do you start with creating the melody? Because personally I like starting with either melodic tune or the bass tune. Normally I start with the bass actually, because I feel that that's the foundation of the song. It's a lot easier to work around. If I start with a beat, then it usually gets really monotone, or I actually end up, you know, not making a song at all. It's just a bad idea to start with a beat in my eyes. Sometimes I do start with a melody as well, but most of the time it's the bass. That's like the ground structure. And I know I'm kind of notorious for using a lot of the same bass lines. That's my weakness, I guess, but I'm trying to get better at that. Don Vasilius asks, do you try to replicate songs that are really popular in some form? Like Glorious Morning, you made 3 versions. Do you base your other music on previous successes? I guess I do to some extent, but I mean, I don't base anything on the fact that it's popular or not. I just base it off what I like personally. Like, if I felt like I was really onto something with one song, I might try to explore that more with the next. But I don't think the popularity of the song influenced me in any way. Like, I have no control over what you guys like and what you don't, so I just go by what I like. LPS Minecrafter asks, question, what inspires you to make music? Do you do anything specific to get ideas? Usually I get inspired by games and movies, sceneries, and sometimes emotions as well. Like, if I feel sort of down, or, you know, I had a weird dream that makes me feel, you know, kind of, I don't know, melancholic or something like that, I try to get that out in music most of the time. But in other situations I can get inspired by games, or, you know, like sceneries, places, just something that creates an atmosphere I feel could go with some kind of music. That usually inspires me, and of course I also get inspired by other artists, mostly other video game artists, but that tend to change from month to month, so there's no specific influence. Hot Step Music asks, what is your favorite synth? I'm gonna assume you're talking about VST synths on the computer, not real live synths, and based off that I think the FM8 is my favorite synth. Ikisaki8 asks, will you continue / relaunch the Fruit Loops songs from start to finish series? I learned a lot from just the 2 parts you did. Yeah, I have been thinking about relaunching it. I'm not going to continue what I did, definitely, because that was on an old computer, and it was an old version of FL, and I've learned a lot since then as well. So I do plan to relaunch it at some point, but it's not going to be continued from the old one, that's for sure. 666 Bunny Killer asks, awesome to see you. My question is, have you thought about making vlogs? Not really. I'm not comfortable enough talking to the camera yet. I'm struggling real hard right now, but maybe sometime in the future. Maradonos asks, what game from your childhood do you think had the best soundtrack? Dynamite City for sure. That music is amazing. It's still one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard. Hold on a second. I played the crap out of this when I was a kid, and yeah, this one is the Japanese version, and this one is the English version. They're pretty identical. There's some changes to bosses and stuff, but the music is the same. So you have to check this out. It's awesome. Okay, Super Raxo1 asks, is there any key knowledge about differences when making music specifically for games? That's a real interesting question actually, but I don't think there is actually, for me anyway, because I make almost soundtrack-like music on my spare time as well. If it's a hectic situation, a calm, sad situation, so of course it's kind of like making music for movies, I imagine. You just have to make it specifically for the action and the feeling the scene has. But apart from that, not really. Like, that's what I do anyways when I make music, so I don't see a real difference, to be honest. Epic Juice asks, what's your first track's name? My first official track on the internet is called Sunrise. You can find it at the bottom of my profile on Newgrounds. It's really horrible. But my first track ever, I think I have it somewhere here. Okay, I actually found my oldest track to date that has been recorded at all. Still here on my computer. It's recorded from the PlayStation. It was made on Music 2000 when I was like 13 years old, and the quality is terrible. I didn't know how to record properly back then, so you have to bear with me with the quality, but I can show you some of it now.